Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool and this is Gems of War. And today we're going to be going over when to do Pure Faction 500. I put a poll on the community tab for your members only video for July, and that's what you guys chose, was when to do Pure Faction 500. It was actually on the poll for last month and it got like second place, so I guess you guys are interested in this, and it is one of the hardest things to do in the game, and I definitely understand because Pure Faction 500 is difficult, so knowing when to do it is a good thing to know. So we're going to be going over that right now. As far as the underworld goes, you start out. I have to like start from the beginning because it's about like when you're going to do it. So I'm going to have to like start from the beginning a little bit. I won't like make it too long, but you know, when you start the underworld, basically, and I'm doing a new account right now, so I kind of have more information than I usually do. So I'm doing a new account. I just started the underworld on the new account. I have my main account where I have most of them done. So if you take a look, I do have a couple that aren't done, like Indrajit's Palace, Dark Court, and I think like one more, Lazara's Lair. But I also have most of them done. I have like 35 out of 38 done. So I was kind of waiting until I got them all done to really speak on this, but since y'all are asking now, I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I just have the 3 that I haven't done, but wanted to let you know that before we get started. There are 3 of them that I don't have done, so yeah. But there is a chart that Sana sent to me. Shout out to Sana. That was like a crowd-sourced thing where people voted on which one was the hardest. And I can also go off my horde levels. I think that's a good way to, like, I'm combine the two things. Like, there's this chart that ranks them from easiest to hardest, and then I have my horde levels, which I think are a good indicator on how hard they were. So I'll also be going over like which ones are easiest to do and which ones are hardest to do. But yeah, when you first start out and you open the underworld, you're going to go to City of Thieves. That's the most people think is the best place to farm, and you got to start by farming. So we're going to go to City of Thieves. We're going to do level 20 every day, 3 times a day, for a very long time. This is a very long process. You gotta buckle in, you gotta settle in. It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take months. It's gonna take a year. It might take 2 years. It's quite a while. Like you see, I don't even have them done yet. I'm not really rushing it or anything. I could have it done already if I wanted to, but I'm not really rushing it. So. But yeah, City of Thieves, when it opens up, go to City of Thieves, open up City of Thieves, do it 3 times a day, every day on level 20. Don't go above 20. It's hard to not go above 20. I accidentally did it on my new account. I went to 30 on accident, clicked it, just one misclick screwed me up. So be very careful and make sure you don't do what I did and misclick on my new account. But level 20, 3 times a day, every day, until you get a bunch of chaos shards, and then you're going to build up your horde level here. You're going to build up your horde level to make it easier to do it 3 times a day every day, right? And you're going to build up your quality so you get more resources. So we're building our quality to 10, so it's the 3 times a day is worth more. And then we're going to build up our horde level. That way we have more stats and it gets faster. So the goal is to make it as fast as possible and worth as much as possible. So we get the more bang for our buck every day, and it's quicker to do every day, and you don't not do it every day because it's easier. Like, use your Rowan team. You know, you get your Golden Cog, your Clockwork Sphinx, your Rowan, and your Leprechaun. And you use that here, and it's super fast. You just cast Leprechaun, you cast Rowan, and you're done. Because you have a high horde level, you have lots of armor, and you can just wipe them out in one shot, and it's only level 20. So you do that 3 times a day, every day, for months. But you stack up Chaos Shards, you start taking them around and getting all the troops. We're not talking about like what order to get the troops in, but the first thing you do is get the Mirage Queen, so you can then make the team even faster by having a 50% start. So Mirage Queen, King Gob Truffle, Queen Beatrix, go get those. But so up your horde level to like 111 or so, because you're faction renown. You get max points when you do 100. Treasure horde level is one of the conditions to getting renown, and 100 is when you have max points. You don't get any more if you go to like 200 or 300. You get the max at 100, and then you go to 111 because it's a nice break point. You get a potion, you get a stat right at 111. Can I go faster than that? Come on. Starting from the beginning, because to get to Pure Faction 500, you have to do all of these other things first. You can't just like jump straight to it. So we got to do this first, and then we can talk about Pure 500. But when you get to 111, so 100, is when you get your max renown. So of course you want to get to 100. You also get a potion of enchantment, as you can see. It's popping up right there. And you get a magic stat. So pretty cool. And then once you go to 111, you get a potion of explosion at 105. And then you get 2 magic at 111 if you have the associated kingdom leveled up. If you don't have the associated kingdom leveled up, then you get just 1 more magic. But it's still a good break point, 111. So you at least want to get your horde level to 111. You at least want to get your quality to 10. You do City of Thieves 3 times a day, every day with your Rowan team. You go get the Mirage Queen. That makes it even faster. Your horde level makes it faster. Your quality 10 makes it better. And then you're getting tons of chaos shards and all kinds of other stuff too, like gold and ingots and trait stuff. Like, you get so many. If you do it, it's just amazing. You get lots of hero experience, lots of class experience. It's one of the things I think people are missing out on doing every day, and that's why they're missing certain resources. So doing your City of Thieves 3 times a day every day is just really good for your whole account. But as far as progressing your underworld, you know, you're going to open all of these up. You have to spend gold to open them all up. You have to do all the quests, right? You have to get all the troops. You know, you start with the ones I said, and then you can progress from there. There's certain ones you want to get first, and then eventually you're going to get all of them. And eventually you're going to get multiple copies of them, and eventually you're going to get them all fully ascended. So that takes a very long time. Just think of just Gob Truffle. You got to get 6 Gob Truffles to ascend it, and then you want at least 7, so you have 2 of them. You got to do the same thing with Queen Beatrix. You know, you got to get like 6 Mirage Queen to fully ascend it. There's Gargoyles, there's Shagaroth, there's Magma Dragon. There's just like all the troops. There's 38 kingdoms or whatever, and you got to times it by at least 4. It's 120 plus troops that you got to get fully ascended and have multiple copies of. So this takes a long time. That's why I'm not like super, quick to talk about Pure Faction 500, because it takes a long time to even get to that point. But let's just say you have all the troops, you have all that done. You have all the troops, you have all like multiple copies, you have them fully ascended. You would then want to get all these other factions to Horde 100. Because that would be, max renown at least, and you're going to at least do that in all the other factions. You have to get your Chaos Shards from City of Thieves, open chests in other places to get the troops, and while you're doing that, you're going to get treasure. Once you get your City of Thieves to 111, you'll then take that treasure to other factions and get their horde level to 100 and their quality to 10, because eventually you're going to do those. But you could jump around and do all of them to 100 and all of them to 10, without even doing them. You just keep doing City of Thieves. But you're preparing to do them by doing City of Thieves and getting treasure and taking it there, taking it to the other ones to get them to 100 horde level and them to quality 10. So when it's time to do those, you're ready to do them. Plus you're getting a ton of renown just by doing all the factions to 100 horde level. You have a decent amount of renown, just overall renown, and maybe get some stats just from doing that. You don't even have to do any battles. You're just doing easy level 20 City of Thieves battles with your Rowan. So, a good way to get easy renown is just to get all your horde levels. And it does cost a lot of gold, but you're going to get a ton of gold just by doing this 3 times a day. So, it kind of evens out almost. But, when would you do Pure Faction 500? You would do it, you would want to plan ahead. That's the first thing. You don't just willy-nilly Pure Faction 500, for real. You want to, plan ahead. You want to take a look at maybe the chart of the easiest ones. Which we can take a look at now. I can't bring it up on the screen or anything, but I have it here on my computer. And supposedly this is it's the brought to you by Gems of War faction server crowdsourced delve ranking chart. This is what they say. This is not my chart. So we can look at my horde levels and see what I think. But as far as this chart goes, it says the Deep Hive is the easiest, then Duergaroth, then Emperor Nazar, then Tinkertown, then Depths of Sin. I definitely agree with the Deep Hive being the easiest. You got Queen Beatrix. So let's just go off of that. The first Pure 500 you would do would be the Deep Hive. So what you would then want to do is look at Terran's World and see when the Deep Hive is going to pop up on a faction event, a Tuesday or a weekend. And it might not be anytime soon, so you might have to pick something else. Because I think the best time to do Pure 500, and this might just be what you were looking for, this answer right here, is when an easy faction lines up with a faction event. Because in a faction event, you get more sigils, you'll have more potions, you'll have more stats. It's way easier to do a Pure 500 during an event. Not down here on just like a random Thursday or random like Monday. You kind of want to do it on a Tuesday or on the weekend event because you have double the potions, you have double the stats, and you have like all the sigils and stuff, and you're doing it anyway. You're getting extra rewards. So you might as well wait until it's either on a Tuesday, which I don't love, or on the weekend when they add like a new troop or they expand the faction and they're putting in the deep delve. That's the best time to do it. I know that's not going to work for everybody, but you could plan ahead and just pick the easiest one that's coming soon when you're ready to do Pure 500. And that'd be the best way to start out with. I know, and then you can't just do that for all of them, but that's when you start, and that's the question. When to start doing Pure 500. When you start doing Pure 500, you want to actually do it during a faction event on one of the easier factions. So that's the answer for real. So if we look at Terran's World, we can look at like the weekly event spoilers. We can see like maybe there's one coming up decently soon. What do we got here? We got, so you go there, you look, and you see like every Tuesday there's going to be one. Like Silverglade is coming soon. We got Emperor Nazar coming soon. You see what I mean? So we got what's it called? Okay, so I think Emperor Nazar is coming July 23rd. Hellgate is the hardest one. That's coming July 30th, so you don't want to do that one. That one's freaking hard. But you got Tinkertown coming August 4th. So you got 2 easy ones coming 2 out of the 3 next weeks. Got Mirrored Halls the week after that. We got Sea of Sorrow the week after that. So if I was looking to start doing Pure 500, I would probably, if I was looking to do it right now, I would see, okay, Emperor Nazara is coming next Tuesday. Maybe I want to start that one as my first one. But also it's on a Tuesday, which I don't love. But you could do it all in one day. I've done that before. Do we have any weekend ones coming up soon? Okay, we have Tinkertown coming Friday, August 2nd. And Tinkertown is not super hard. It's the 4th easiest. So that's what I would try to look at as your very first Pure 500, would be to look at the schedule and then bring up this chart and then figure out, okay, what's the easiest one coming up the soonest as far as a weekend faction event? Because we have those pretty often, those weekend faction events. Like we got one on August 4th. And then you have one every single Tuesday if you really want to cram it all into one day. Like, I used to do that with new factions. I would cram it all into Friday so I can make a Pure Faction 500 video. And I realize I'm just sitting on the screen, but there's not much to show, except for my horde levels, I guess. But for real, that's the answer. You kind of want to line it up. You want to have all your factions open, all your troops, all your hordes at 100, all your quality at 10. You want to have multiple copies of all the troops. You want to be doing City of Thieves 3 times a day every day. You know, you want to have all of that done first because, you know, I mean, you could do them alongside each other, but you kind of want to be pretty deep into that before you start thinking about Pure 500, because Pure 500 is one of the hardest things in the game, and you could do other things, like with your Renown, before you do that. Whoops. It's best delve defeated, so you could work your way up slowly every day and get more points there. You got best delve with no casualties. That's going to like happen as you do best delve defeated, because you're not going to die every single time. Best delve using the faction team, that's pure faction. Then you got treasure horde levels. So you can build your renown without even doing fights for real. You can just do the treasure horde level to 100 in all the factions and get quite a bit of renown. But that's what I would do. I would say, you know, look at the schedule, see when the next easy one is coming on the weekend, and then try to line it up. So let's say we're trying to do that right now. Okay, so we're saying, okay, Tinkertown is coming next weekend. So the way you would plan for that is you would go to Tinkertown, which I forget where it is. Tinkertown. Go here, and I got Horde 133, so that means it's pretty easy. If it's hard, it's like 200 or 177 or something like that. So 133, I agree with the list. It's not that hard. Sometimes I even like up my horde level accidentally higher than it needs to be, just to go to a soft cap, which the soft caps are 111, 133, 177, or 155, 177, and then 200, something like that. It's when you get a potion and a magic stat at the same time. So if we were a person right now trying to do our first Pure Faction 500, which means you have to use the just troops from that faction. So you go to your collection. If you're trying to do Tinkertown Pure Faction, you would have to go to Tinkertown and just use Tinkertown troops. Can't use any other troops. You can't use your hero. You can't use any other troops. You can't use an immortal. You can't use Stellarix. You have to use only Tinkertown troops. But you can use, like, all of the same troop from Tinkertown if that's what you want to do. But I don't really agree that this one's, like, one of the easiest 5. But since it's on the list, it does have a summon, so that's probably why. Usually that's how it's determined, it seems like, on this list. The first 2 are heavy true damage. You got Queen Beatrix, and then you got Narmel for Duergaroth. And then the next, like, 3 are because they have lots of summons and, like, a tank. So you have a tank in first slot, and then you have, like, a summoner in last slot. So that's, like, the next 3 easiest are usually based off of that. So if you want to look for an easy one, something that does true damage to all enemies, like the Deep Hive with Queen Beatrix, or Duergaroth with Narmel, which I think he does single target damage, but it's pretty heavy and it's true damage, and he, like, does something else too. And I think there's another troop there that's good too. Then like, the other thing is, like, a tank that gains, like, life and armor or life and attack or something based off of some boost ratio with another summoner that can summon in if you lose that big tank or something else on your team. Those are usually the easiest ones. True damage or, tank with a summoner. So we look at Tinkertown. We say, okay, we're going to do Tinkertown. We're not going to do it this weekend. We're going to do it next weekend. So we're going to start to make sure, first of all, that we have our horde level to a decent, appropriate, at least 111, at least 133, something like that, to make it easier on yourself, to get those stats. Get more stats, get more potions. So when you do the event, you'll have extra stats based on those potions. Because when you're going to do a pure faction, you have to buy up, like, really far into the event. You have to buy all the way to the 7th tier potion, and then you have to, like, buy that last potion multiple times. Some people don't even know that you can do that, but the last potion that costs 200 gems, you can buy that as many times as you want. And you get, like, 7 to all stats every time you buy that power potion, that last one. So that's why you can pretty much just buy your way to a victory with gems if you have enough. You just keep buying that 7th tier, get that power potion over and over and over and over and over until you have so many stats that it's just ridiculous, you're not going to lose. But I would say, okay, I'm going to do Tinkertown. It's not this weekend, but it's next weekend. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to just up my horde level right now. I'm going to start thinking about it ahead of time, because it's quite a bit of gold. You need treasure. Like, you can't just do it on the day of. You're not going to have enough treasure. You're not going to have enough gold. So you got to start thinking about it ahead of time. So maybe a week ahead of time, I would think about, okay, I'm going to do Tinkertown next weekend, and I would up my horde level to at least 133, something like that, because it's a nice soft cap. It's a decent amount. Maybe you don't even have it to 100 yet. Go get it to 133, get your quality to 10, and then go check out your troops, too, because you're going to have to use them. So you would go back to Tinkertown troops. You want to make sure you have them all, first of all, which you probably do if you're doing pure 500. And then you want to make sure they're all fully leveled, fully traded, and fully ascended, and all that good stuff. Maybe even medaled if you're going to use one specifically. That like, I'm going to use 4 of this one, or I'm going to use 3 of this one, or 2 of this one. Well, I should probably medal it, so it's as good as it can be. But, I don't know, that's pretty much the answer for real. It's just, you're ready to do Pure Faction 500 when it's the hardest one out of the 4 conditions to get renowned. So you're pretty much ready to do that once you get all your horde levels to 100, once you get all the troops from the underworld, once you get, like, multiple copies of Queen Beatrix and King Gobtruffle, and get Mirage Queen fully ascended. Like, the easiest way to do Pure 500 would be to wait for an event on the weekend, wait for an easier one based on that list that I can try to post the link in the comments for you. But based on either, okay, we got the Deep Hive, Duergaroth, Emperor Nazar, Tinkertown, Depths of Sin, Ilithia, Silver Necropolis, Wild Court, Crypt Keepers, and Primal Rift. So that's 10 of them right there you could look for, and then do it over the weekend. And you don't have to do it that way. Like, you could do it the slow way. I usually say all in or all out on factions, especially on Pure 500. So you could sit down here and just pick one, and then do it slowly. Like, I'm doing Indrajit's Palace right now. I have to get it to 500 first of all, before I can do Pure 500. So I'm sitting here and I'm doing it 3 times a day, every day, progressing it slowly. Eventually you'll get to 500, and you could try it without doing it in an event. And the easier ones, you could probably do that. But it's going to take a long time, and it's not going to be as easy. So you should probably actually be doing, like, both. Like, pick one that you're going to do through the faction event, and then maybe pick one to work on slowly over time. Get both of their horde levels to a good amount, get all the troops fully ascended and all that business. So, I don't know. That's probably what I would say in the end, now that I've thought about it. You should probably pick one that you're going to wait for a faction event for, that's not too far down the road when you're ready to do it. And then pick one that you're going to do slowly over time, every day, 3 times a day. You know, use a regular team to get it to 300 or so, then practice your pure faction team on 300. Use a regular team to get it to 400, then practice your pure faction on 400. Use a regular team to get it to 500, then you're ready to do that pure faction team on 500 and get those points, get that renown, get that pure faction done. So, I don't know, I hope I helped somebody out there. I feel like I've just been talking with the screen up, but yeah, to go back to the original question, y'all just said, when to do pure faction 500? And the answer is, when you're done farming City of Thieves 3 times a day, every day, when you're done getting all of the troops, when you're done getting all your horde levels to 100, that's around when you would do it. That's when you're ready to do it. When you're just banging out that City of Thieves every day, 3 times a day, super easy. Your City of Thieves horde levels on 111 or something. Your Rowan is just crushing it. You got the Mirage Queen. You already got all the good troops in the underworld. You're working on just getting all the troops from the underworld now. You're working on getting all the factions to 100 now, because that's your renown. You have to anyway, so you might as well do that through City of Thieves. While you're getting tons of gold souls, other resources do it for doing it too. That's about when you're ready for it. And then when it lines up like that, like an easy faction comes through on the weekend, that's your sign. Like, hey, I got all my hordes to 100. I got almost all the troops. I've been doing City of Thieves 3 times a day every day for months and months and months. And here comes Tinkertown on the weekend. I think I'm going to start doing Pure Faction 500. I'm going to get Tinkertown's horde level to like 133. I'm going to buy up to 7 in the shop and buy that potion, power potion. Because you have to spend like 2,000 to 2,500 gems to get Pure 500 done. So you're going to have to buy that last potion like multiple times. Like at least 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So you got to have a lot of gems too. You got to save up gems. You got to save up gold. You got to make sure your horde levels is good. You got to make sure you have the troops and they're fully leveled. So you got to prepare. You can't just like do it whenever you want. You kind of have to prepare. If I was going to do Tinkertown, I would make sure I had 2,500 gems. At least, because you can't just run yourself all the way out of gems. So you say, okay, I'm never going under 1,000 gems. I'm never going under 2,000 gems, whatever it may be. So you need 4,500 gems because you're going to spend 2,500 on Tinkertown on that weekend. You got to have the gold to get the horde level up for Tinkertown. And that's quite a bit of gold. Sometimes it can cost up to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million gold. So that's why I'm telling you to wait quite a while. Because for every single faction, you're going to need like 2,500 gems. You're going to need like 2 or 3 million gold, depending on how hard it is. You're going to have all the troops leveled and fully ascended and traded and all that stuff, especially the ones you're going to use. So it's like very expensive, and it's an in-game thing. You're not supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do pure 500 when you're like level 750 or even level 1000. You should probably be around 1250 plus to start doing pure faction. Because you can get some of that other renown. You can get the horde level renown. You can get just the regular level renown. You don't have to do the hardest thing first. You want to do the hardest thing last. But just to cap this off, let's look at some of my horde levels here. 177. So mirrored halls must be pretty difficult, right? But sometimes I don't know if that's a great indicator, because sometimes I up my horde level just to make it super easy. Like supposedly mirrored halls is the 12th easiest. And I'm not fully agreeing with this list. I haven't fully... So I have this one on 155. Okay, that makes sense, because that's an easier one. So Emperor Nazara is I have one 155. We got to find some that I have on, like, barely anything. So that's 200. 155. 177. 177. 309. That one's freaking hard. 200. You know, you just have gold, you use it. So I don't know. Here we go. I haven't done that one, though. Okay. See, Amonithrax was easy for me, but everybody's saying it's hard now, so I wasn't mentioning Amonithrax. But you have King Gobtruffle. I got it done on 111. I think it got harder. I think it's a thing where it got harder because of something. But just trying to find you some that I didn't up so much. But I upped a lot of them. Look how much gold I'm spending here. A lot of them are on like 200, and that's a lot of gold. Let's see, like with this. If I was to up this horde... See how much it costs. 114,000 just for that. Just for like 10 levels. And we're going to have to go like who knows how many more levels? 50 more? So times that by 5. It's at least 500,000. 500,000 to 1 million to 2 million gold that you're going to have to spend on every faction. So that's why you can't do it until you're super ready. Like, you have the extra gold, you have the extra gems, you have everything else done. Man, I have a lot of horde levels super high, didn't I? I was like, screw this. Depths of Sin I only have on 133. And that's the 5th easiest, so that checks out. City of Thieves was pretty hard. I haven't done Lazar's Lair yet. Deep Hive 133, so that checks out. Umbral Nexus, middle. Sunken Fleet I didn't have too much trouble with, but supposedly I think it's supposedly hard. Yeah, it's like the 4th hardest, but I only went to 133, so I don't know why that is. See, I gotta, like, check out this list for real. Dripping Caverns didn't... Well, I get 177, so I guess it's kind of hard. 133 for Stone Song Eerie. So I'm shouting out some that I didn't have to go super far with the Horde level, which usually means it's not that bad. Supposedly that's the 19th hardest one, or easiest one. So right in the middle. 177, 178, 203, 155. Anyway. Duergaroth, it checks out. 133, not bad. Fire Rift. But yeah, that's my answer. I don't know what else to say. The question was when to do it, not like how to do it. But when to do it is try to make it line up. Try to make it be your first ever Pure Faction 500. I would hope that you would be able to think ahead, have the gold, have the gems, wait till an easy one comes through on the weekend. It's not going to take that long. It might take a month or two. Like Tinkertown is coming through in next weekend. Bang, there you go. There's your first Pure Faction 500. Start right now upping your horde level. Start right now saving your gems. Start right now leveling your troops. You know? And then you'll be ready for it. And you can do it through the event. Get the rewards for the event. Get the new troop or whatever, right? Get the new troop or whatever. Get the weapon or whatever. Get the, you're doing the event anyway. You want those rewards for the event anyway. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you're doing the event anyway. You might as well get a bunch of rewards for getting Pure 500 done. So, wait till there's an easy one on the weekend event and then do Pure Faction 500. But make sure you've already got everything else done that I already talked about. The City of Thieves 3 times a day, getting all the troops, getting the horde levels to 100 to get that easy renown. That's your indicator that you're ready to go. You got all the best troops from the underworld. You got all the factions at 100. Now you're ready to go. Now you're going to focus on Tinkertown. You're going to say, I'm going to up this horde level a little bit more. I'm going to make sure these troops are good to go. I'm going to save 2,500 gems for the event. I'm going to save a bunch of gold so I can up my horde level. Or you just start working on it ahead of time. That's what I would say. But yeah, if you have any questions, put it in the comments. I have a whole playlist about delves and underworld and all that stuff. So you can go watch the playlist. I'm doing a new account playthrough right now where I'm in the underworld right now, practicing what I preach, doing City of Thieves 3 times a day, every day. Horde level is like 100 or 111 right now. I got Gob Truffle, Queen Beatrix, Miraji Queen, Harpy Mage. I'm working on Gargoyle now, so I'm practicing what I preach. I'm not just like telling you guys to do something that takes forever and do it this way and do it, I'm doing it myself. Just like, and you see the results. Like, I've been surprised that I give this advice and I go just apply my own advice and how well it works. And that sounds crazy, but it is true. But yeah. So there you go. That's your video, your members only video. We'll go out to the public eventually though, and I will put out the other video for members only from last month after I put this out. So hopefully this helps somebody out there. I'll try to pin that chart, but if you don't want to click on it, it's supposedly the Deep Hive is the easiest, then Duergaroth, then Emperor Nazar, then Tinkertown, then Depths of Sin, then Elithia, then Silver Necropolis, then Wild Court, then Crypt Keepers, then Primal Rift. So, and Tinkertown is coming soon, and if you're going to start doing it, that would be a great time to start doing it. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining, it helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel, comment below. I hope I didn't forget something, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.